addition to taking specific viewer decks, I also do what I call build around submission. So someone's like, Jeff, take this card and build your preferred variation of it. And this is a build around submission for Doom Foretold, specifically in Historic here, which works very well with Demonic Pact. So Demonic Pact, really sweet pact in this format. Get to choose one every single upkeep, deal 4, gain 4. Target player discards 2 cards, you draw 2 cards, you lose the game. Doom Foretold lets us sacrifice this before we lose the game. Lorehold Command, new card out of the latest set, lets us sacrifice a permanent to draw 2 cards. So this lets us sacrifice Demonic Pact before it becomes problematic. And then we've got Yorion, Sky Nomad, that lets us blink some things for value, as well as reset Demonic Pact so we could use it again. Yeah, seems really sweet. Another axis that I'm operating on in this deck, because I wanted to play Helix to interact with them, and this gains us life, and this gains us life. I'm playing 4 copies of Silversmote Ghoul, which might be terrible, but I really want to try it out, right? So this is a thing that we can sacrifice to Doom Foretold for value. It's a 3/1. We can sacrifice it to draw cards, and we've got Lightning Helix, Oathakaya, Golden Egg, Demonic Pact, Lorehold Command, and Basilica Bell-Haunt, and Cling to Dust that all get us ways to gain 3 life with Silversmote Ghoul. So yeah, there's a lot of really neat little small synergies in this deck list, combining cards from different things. So let's go ahead and dive on into some games here with this and see how this Mardu variation feels today. How do I feel after the second shot? The second night was really bad. Friday, I felt like I got hit by a truck. I'm back to a normal amount there. For people asking about Harmless Offering is bad. I'm not playing it. This is an attempt to put a bunch of good cards in my deck. I'm gonna give you the best Magic advice you're gonna hear today, chat. Your deck is better if you play less bad cards in it. This is gonna come as a shock to many of you at home, I am aware. But your deck is better if you play less bad cards. This is the worst individual card that we are playing in this deck, but I'm also not playing any bad cards to enable it. So like, I looked at this deck and went, oh, I have a bunch of things that incidentally gain me 3 life. This card seems relatively free, and it synergizes with my Doom Foretold. Now, I think I put this into play tapped here and set myself up to start 4-dropping next turn. No, it's just a 2-mana card that blinks with Yorion and sacrifices to Doom Foretold Linked. Thanks for the follow, Laba. And Mari Gra, thank you for the 46 months. And Marky, thanks for the 19. What's going on, Darkstorm? A whole bunch of them there during the deck tech. But I'm playing Teamer Phoenix, looks like here. You are far from the only one who had no symptoms. There were lots of people that had just like shrug it off. My body reacted to the second shot like my body frequently reacts when I get a cold. It's like when I get a cold, it's like a chest cold. Only it was a little bit more extreme version of that. This is where the magic happens, chat. Was really hoping for a 5th land there. I think we just Bell-Haunt here. We could second pack and empty their hand. That's true. If we draw land here, we can Thoughtseize plus Bell-Haunt and get rid of their hand here still. Man, that's brutal. Okay, well now we have to play this because I need to hit the land next turn untapped. So that way I can Lorehold Command. So if we don't hit the untapped land in 3 draws here, we're gonna die to our pact here. Should not be a great first showing, but magic happens sometimes. If you missed yesterday we played a dedicated red-white taking turn. Yesterday we played a dedicated red-white taking turns deck with Gideon. So if you're looking to get your daily dose of Chads, that's the way you want to do it. For fuck's sake. Man, that's unreal. What are the odds on that? Just astronomical, huh? Five lands. What are the odds of 5 lands in 17? It's probably not that low. We're 95 for 1 in 20 games. 1 in 20 games this will happen to us. Orgnax, 6 for the Prime support. I appreciate that. Welcome to the channel. Alright, so extra Cling to Dust is good. Baleful Mastery seems good. Clarion sounds nice. What do we want to get rid of here? Yeah, we're playing 35 lands. We're playing 35 lands, and we have like 10 cheap cantrips here too. Ghoul out. Yeah, I suppose this doesn't really attack into their 1/1s particularly well, huh? I guess it also comes back into play for free, though. I don't know. Seems fine for grinding them out. I think I'd rather cut the Bell-Haunts. Hey, Istat, thanks for the brand new Prime support. Appreciate you shipping your Bezo bucks this way this month. Welcome to the channel. I'm sure one of these. Surprised there's no Rest in Peace in our sideboard. I've got 4 copies of Cling to Dust, BSQ. Bell-Haunt enables Ghoul. Yeah, I've got plenty of Ghoul enablers, though. We have a lot of Ghoul enablers. Thanks for the follow, Mr. Rail. Good morning. You can play Blight on your opponent's lands. That's literally the entire purpose of it, Drunk. Is to screw with their colors and make them take damage. Do you think they can draw 2 here and they're like baiting me into attacking with the Ghoul? Is Blight good? No, we're playing Blight because it's a permanent we can sacrifice to Doom Foretold, chat. It's a cantrip. It's a cantrip for Yorion. Yeah, we're basically playing it as Spreading Seas. I don't know we're going to be able to beat this Klothys. Brainstorm gives them a 1-card way. And I'm going to concede. I fucked this up real bad. So obviously wasn't thinking about Brainstorm making them a token. If I had been, we don't draw the Yorion, so we can play the Othakaya post-combat there. So messed up my sequencing in that game pretty badly. Got mana screwed in game 1. Let's shake it off and move on to the next one. Just gonna draw Yorion here. I don't want to like play Ghoul and then have them stomp and eat it. Hopefully they just like play another thing out here and then we get to Clarion. Oh no. Oh no. Yikes. I don't feel like playing against Bonza. I'm gonna play it. I'm gonna queue to a different one. Take your freebie against my clunky control deck. So we're not playing them because they're cantrips, Richter Mail. We're playing them because they're cards that we could sacrifice to Doom Foretold. And while I also think your comparison of it not being a powerful enough effect and then recommending Treacherous Blessing is very bad for similar reasons. Like it's a card that's slow and doesn't really play to the board. All right, well, I'm going to take their land here. It's like, I have a couple of blessings in the board, but that card's like really mediocre. In a lot of places. What is Ponza? You feel old and out of the loop. Well, you not knowing what Ponza is actually you being new and out of the loop. Ponza is a very old term in Magic. Refers to land destruction. Not old enough is your actual problem here. And then... So we're gonna get Grim Tutored this turn. We can get Agonizer Grimoire, sure. Yep. Clearly you weren't playing Magic in 2002. Ah, yes! The sea opponent with no second land, they hit their first 4 land drops. Feels Magic, man. Am I dead yet? Are we on the burn plan? Yeah, basically. You consider Showdown in this deck. Why should I play Showdown? What problem does my deck have that that card solves? What should we remove for it? Why should I consider Showdown for this deck? Yeah, I made a point to publish it on YouTube before we started the first deck this morning. Took me like 2 minutes to do. Hey, Black Panther, thanks for the 2 months. Really appreciate you re-upping. Welcome back. You know, maybe I'm just supposed to bolt them here rather than make a 3-2 for their Fatal Push. Yeah, I think this was wrong. I think I should have just bolted them there. You're not new here, Blitzer. Don't do the why not X questions. Think about your statement and then tell me why the suggestion you're making is worthwhile as a suggestion. That's my way of responding to you, as saying, hey, maybe put some effort into your thought. I know a timeout request when I see one. Why did I sack Oath instead of Egg? Because Oath is legendary. And for people that are asking why I did that, I had another Lorehold Command in my hand, so the odds that I wasn't going to sacrifice both of them was going to be low. So I did the play that I did because I was basically assuming that I was going to sacrifice both long term. I'm gonna do this first. We could draw a Thoughtseize to maybe not die next turn. Are we dead? All right, so bringing in the extra Baleful Masteries, it disrupts their combo. Bringing in the extra discard spells to kind of pick them apart a little bit. If Ghoul's the, why do you think Ghoul's the weakest link? I'm not sure Ghoul's a weak link. What from a theory standpoint do you think means we should get rid of the Ghoul? The Ghoul seems like a very reasonable way to apply pressure and synergize with Doom Foretold, while also working with our plethora of other things that allow us to gain life incidentally. I'd actually rather keep these than the lithoforms. Just have our beatdowns here. A Codex deck played in Historic today. Nah, I'm not taking a Codex deck. They're just not competitive, Crunchy. I'm not really interested in playing a deck that's going to be awful for an hour. Moving forward, I'm going to be taking fewer decks that just don't do anything and die. Especially with Demonic. Especially with the Pact deck being competitive in the format. Like, Cody's like, Yeah, just like barely limited playable. This deck would love some Lingering Souls. Why is that? Codex wasn't even good in Brawl. Yeah, that doesn't surprise me. Be improvement over one of the cantrips. Why do you hate these cantrips so much? Okay, so here's the thing. If you want to cut the cantrips, we have to add at least another land. They wished for Pact, and I conceded them to putting Oracle on the stack, Topher. So if you missed it, go back and check the tape, but I conceded to my opponent putting the other combo piece on the stack. Oh, are you saying they had 2 packs in their deck still? I think you might be right, actually. You should explain that next time. Yeah, chat, that's correct. The explanation is correct there. So there were 2 copies of Pact in their deck still. It's a good thought. It's accurate. Alright, I think we just take their combo piece. Fuck! Well, it's fine. I didn't want to draw this anyways. I was like, oh, I have 2 black sources. JK, LOL. Thanks for the 14 months, Moose. Welcome back. I don't know. My other thought is, like, people that are already making so many aggressive suggestions after watching me play half a game in, like, 20 minutes with this deck, like, just take a deep breath and calm down, chat. Like, the number one thing people do wrong far too often is they always try and make changes to shit they haven't played any games with. Just, like, take a deep breath and, like, just wait. It's okay to just be like, let's play a few games before we make a bunch of changes. You don't have to, like, rip something apart before you've even tried it. I mean, I'm not saying all the decisions I make are right because I play, like, suggestions can be reasonable, but it's just like, good lord, just like the 800, Jeff, you need to cut all these things and make all these changes, and these cards are bad, these cards are bad, these cards are bad, just I don't like this. We just, like, haven't, like, I don't even know what's right or wrong in this deck yet because I've barely played a game with it. We played, like, a game where we got mana screwed, a matchup that was impossible, and, like, the first game we played in this set is, like, the first, like, real game we've played with this deck in 20 minutes. Skillfully played around Thoughtseize here by having 5 lands in hand. Empty your hand here, huh? So I assume, based on the draw and response, they must have a combo piece, right? If they have a way to counter or discard this, we do lose the game to this the following turn. Very sweet. I probably want to play around Mystic Dispute here, huh? For people that aren't familiar with the interaction, when the Pact exits play and enters play, it's a new instance of the Pact, so all of your options that you pick get reset. No good historic decks are doing nothing on turn 2. Jeskai Control was literally the most played deck this past weekend, and it had one of the highest win rates, so you're just objectively wrong. I'm hesitant to call it big data, but I'm going to whip my data out and put it on the table. Remember, Chad, it's not the size of your data, it's how you use it. My wife loves me even if my data isn't very big. Oh, we could have gotten the ghoul back for free. It's a good observation. Thank you for pointing that out. Test of Talents. Your Duress. Sure, got me. Barnes, thanks for the follow. Welcome to the channel. Alright, Necromentium, do it. They might name Doom Foretold here. Imagine they name Doom Foretold here. We get 4 power. That'd be sick. I would love some zombies. We're taking my demonic back, sure. Rats, never lucky. So, this does mean if they hit removal spell for Ghoul, I have to sack my Doom Foretold. But I think trading Doom Foretold for the Maze Mind Tome is fine. So land would be an untapped land would be an incredible draw here. So we can go, we can go Duress into Doom Foretold. I guess I could technically get comboed next turn, huh? So I should try and prevent that. It's a great draw. This card for reference lets us exile their Oracle in response to the trigger and make them draw a card. So, also cleans up this Jace. I guess we could theoretically die here, huh? What? Oh, they just want to get rid of it? Sure. Deal. Yeah, Lorehold Command does a lot. There's a lot of things we're interested in doing. How often would I miss this trigger in paper? Every time? I think the answer is every time. Then you could mill decks in Historic, there or not. Yeah, I agree, Whiskey. Like, the people that were, like, shouting out 800 changes, like, after the first game and a half that we played, like, we didn't really get to do our thing. And, like, that was, like, that match was, like, okay, our deck actually got to play Magic. Yeah, I'm confident that match win means that we're the better Pact deck, right? That was the Pact mirror match for Pact dominance. Take their threat here. Yeah, I agree. The fact that Wizards doesn't sell boards as a cosmetic is one of the biggest misses in Magic Arena. They're failing to monetize something, and they're failing to give players something that they want to give them money for. Also, like, can we please get the call? I really hate that the standard game boards aren't in the historic rotation. Like, the Strixhaven and the Kaldheim boards are, like, really sweet. I wish we could play on them on occasion while I'm playing historic. Like, I think the Kaldheim board is easily my favorite board in the client. I just haven't played on it in, like, 2 months because I just hasn't been available. Okay, so I think I'm playing a tapped land and passing, and then next turn we can Thoughtseize plus Demonic Pact. Yeah, Runeterra, each player has half the board, and they sell you boards as cosmetics, and you always get to play on your board. Hex TCG sold game boards as cosmetics too, and it just flipped a coin to decide whose board was used for game 1, and then it rotated back and forth, which was nice. I actually think Arena's boards are very gorgeous. I don't think they need to copy the... I don't think they need to copy the each player has half the game board thing. But, like, doing something like Hex did where you could just buy the existing game boards. Yeah, the player on the draw gets their board, something like that. Yeah, like, I like the Hex way. Hex's game boards were really well done, in my opinion. I liked them a lot. They were also gorgeous, in my opinion. Let each player see their own game board. No. So, whenever talking about cosmetics come up, people always talk about, well, just let each player see their own cosmetics. Chat, that's not why people buy cosmetics. People buy cosmetics to show off their stuff to the other player. Yeah, you buy cosmetics to flex. So having only the player who owns it see the cosmetic is never the right answer. Never, ever. All right, so I think we're supposed to Thoughtseize them plus trade Doom Foretold for Teferi, right? It's like not a super exciting use of my Doom Foretold, but I think it's the correct one. Yeah, that was sweet with the modern deck, right? Hey, Threesmith, thanks for the tier 2 and for the 23 months. Welcome back. That be you both on a different board. You flip a coin, or you put whoever is on the draw, have their board be the board decker. You just rotate back and forth. You teach Magic players how to take turns. Okay, well, our opponents never played against our card before, so thanks, I guess. Yeah, I guess they just wanted the memory. That seems fine though. I mean, I was technically ahead. I'm just gonna draw some cards here. I guess with this, I can hold up Baleful Mastery now. It's probably what I want to do.
Sorry I'm late.
Do this in response in case they draw a piece of way to interact.
Hurry.
Doom Foretold's probably our best draw here. Get 3 shots at it. It will deal with Flip Descants down the line, yeah. I'll save the second one for that. I'm discarding an egg here. It's probably just a land. I think I wanna get this in while they're tapped out, even though it means I have to discard an extra card, because taking Demonic Pact off the table guaranteed has a lot of upside.
I won't hide from the world then, I won't let you win.
Maybe find out if our Helix is going to resolve here or not. You know. You know. You just kind of X counts as Gandalf, they do.
Let's skip to the good part.
So we're not just dead yet. I've got Lithoform on their Azcanta, which will pick us up the Thoughtseize, so we can run Thoughtseize into Helix again next turn, and Teferi is still at 2. We are going to get 2 Azcanta activations out of this, though. It's a little scary. Ooh, we're just Narsetting, sure. This being an answer to Azcanta honestly might mean I want more than 2 of them. People were wanting to cut this card earlier. It's got decent utility in places like this. I'm gonna lead on... It's actually kind of important that the Lithoform resolve, so I'm gonna lead on the Golden Egg so I can Thoughtseize before I play either of these. For fuck's sake. There's the Narset. At some point, I will remember that that card exists. At some point, I will remember that that card exists. Man, we're kind of out of gas at this point. We can still do this. Probably not. If I was +1 card, we'd obviously be in a better spot. Might have the resources at that point. You know, we can probably assume like 2 of these are lands, but they probably have 3 to 4 spells realistically. Yeah, this is also game 1. We'll get to bring in a bunch of discard spells post-board, which will be nice. Hopefully, maybe if they have like a bunch of Wrath of Gods and stuff in their hand, we might be okay. So I'm gonna take Memory Lapse. And then I'm going to take their Azcanta, and then I'm going to Lithoform their Azcanta and play, and suddenly we're at parity. If I was +1 card here, there's a good chance we might be ahead. Is there any reason to hold a land in my hand? I don't think so. Okay. Yeah, these eggs are points of life sitting on the battlefield. Think they're trying to activate their Azcanta there, chat fam? No. No Azcanta for you. There is also a Yorion just in our deck at the moment. Our opponent shuffled it back in with the memory. If you like find that, it's worth 2 cards. This is a copy of Doomscar.
You'll thank me. Keep up the pace.
Burn spell! Burn spell! I bet the next card's a burn spell, so if I wouldn't have messed up that Narset sequence, we'd have been okay.
Let's skip to the good part.
Narset sequence, easily be the deciding factor here. Yeah, it doesn't matter. And then at this point, my opponent's Teferi is going to be out of double bolt range, so I'm going to go ahead and concede. Morning, Kraken. Yeah, we got a lot of good tools here. We get to bring in the discard spells, a couple of draws. Baleful Mastery is more reason to take out Teferi's and Narsets. I want to trim here. Is it just Golden Egg? I feel like Oathakaya as something to sacrifice to Doom Foretold and a way to bring back Ghoul and a way to pressure their Planeswalkers is probably worth keeping in. Playing cantrips nicely in those long games. It's a shame we didn't have a castle in our mana in that long game there. It would have been great. Maybe it's a mix of Bell-Haunts and eggs. I kind of like Ghoul. I guess we're trimming on ways to gain life. Do I have Cling? Cling doesn't gain life going long, huh? I have... Yeah, this is still 20 ways to bring Ghoul back. Yeah, we also never drew a Ghoul, it's true. Am I trimming some of these, though? No, I'm going to do one more Historic deck today. My plan is to do three per morning, Luke. Maybe I don't want all the Clings here. Let's do that. My sideboard also might not be built correctly. Cutting egg seems reasonable because it doesn't cantrip if Narset is out. Discard Blessing Doom Foretold's a pretty good curve. We can find some lands here. So, if I leave them as Kanta, there's a chance they tap out for it on 2, which lets me Blessing on 3. So I think I take the veto here. And And then we're hoping to draw untapped tap land, any land next turn, or tap land the following turn. Okay. You know what? Fine. That's how it's gonna beat you. Hey, Nicholas. Thanks for the year and a half. I appreciate that. Welcome back. This is where the magic happens. All right. I'm gonna go up a land. I'm gonna go up a land. Our curve's kind of high. We've bricked a lot today. And I'm gonna add a Castle Locthwain. If I'm cutting a Cling, do I want the 4th Cling in the board? The 4th Cling in the board. Getting a tapped land. Castle's untapped. We got a lot of swamps. We got 4 Triomes, 8 Shocks, and a basic swamp. Orvmox, thanks for the 34 months. Good morning, good morning. This could have been a Cling, chat. This is probably fine. This is technically an extra Silversmote Ghoul. Well, we gotta fix that for Coley. Bright Star Goose. Someone just asked about the Teamer Planeswalker deck. I'm Bright Star is a subscriber, so I wouldn't be surprised if they're playing Teamer Walkers here. Peace was never an option for the Goose chat. I think it's just her. They draw untapped land next turn. They get to Sarkin. Playing with fire a little bit here. Alright, so do we murder a mana creature hoping to make them brick for a turn? I think that's probably... Like, I guess if they... Nah, I'm just going to play this out, because then if they play it and down tick, we can Helix the Sarkin. This is fine. Hey, Bella, thanks for the rate. Hope you had a wonderful stream today.
Magnificent!
Nice. Mastery is a great pickup.
love to make a splash.
Read. Start here and see what we get. It's pretty good.
You may surrender at any time.
I assume they're gonna make a 5/5 here with Kiora.
The future is not yet decided.
Hopefully they just go up and then we can Baleful Mastery the Casmenia.
Excellent. Let's put fractal theory into practice.
Huh? So I can technically do both of these without giving this. I could also like go tap land this and then student cost this on the Casmina. That's probably what I'm doing.
A worse future will come to pass.
Pretty soft any amount of interaction here.
Let's get moving.
What know you of dragons? They are coming.
Is that lethal? Not quite. Close them. And these unfortunately come back tapped, right? Yeah. That's faster than clicking concede. Probably just want my cards that play to the board here. Get rid of the stuff that plays towards the hand. Let's be more of a tap out control deck. Thoughtseize is like nice on turn 1 or turn 2, but kind of slow and clunky otherwise.
Fate is too dangerous.
She's not Oko, but she's still pretty good on turn 2.
Focus on the future. Dark days lie ahead.
Our bond was forged in battle.
My plan is crystallizing.
Better late than never. Never stops, chat. It never stops. Yeah, definitely run a little bit below average this set, which doesn't help when our deck's probably not very good to begin with. Give us one more match here, but I'm about ready to move on from this one. See if we can run closer to average and feel okay, but yeah, Temur Planeswalker is actually what we played. The deck before this one. It was very reasonable. Probably gonna end up putting Temur Planeswalkers in the fan favorite section of the website. Been reasonably competitive. Not sure I understand the student cost thing. It's just what they call the alternative cost. So the Baleful Mastery is a cycle of cards. We played against Oracle Pact. That is our one match win with this deck so far today was against Tainted Pact. You just like discard their hand a bunch and then have Baleful Mastery to interact with their combo. Our deck has a lot of things that interact with our opponent's hand. Strick's new wording on old concepts. Can you give an example of an old card that has a reduced cost with a downside, like Baleful Mastery's templated? Because I can't think of one. Yeah, Stiflebird's a very narrow, specific way to interact with. Yeah, can you give me an example of an old card that does something like the student cost, Steebs? Because I can't think of one. That's what I'm asking you. It's like reverse kicker. I mean, every mechanic in Magic is kicker if you squint at it. Hey! That's busted! We drew a fourth land on turn 4? Exciting. Well, Test of Talents having Storm is a very good example of something that they do quite frequently. They don't put keywords into sets that don't have that keyword in it. That's something that's very commonly done in Magic. Try and draw land here. Well, at least we hit our fourth land on 4, chat. I'm gonna hold on to these and just play a Deafening Clarion this turn. Lepid, thanks for the follow. Welcome to the channel. Should at least Pierce isn't a main deck card. Post board, I would probably Helix on their turn to play around Spell Pierce, but game 1, I don't think we play around Pierce. In a pretty good spot here. Getting to play nice solid fair match of Magic. See if they have another 1-mana spell here or not. Fine. Means whatever they opt into, they lose here, and I have another Helix and Lorehold Command to clear this out later. Still have plenty of life. Consider Evoke a version of Baleful Mastery. Nah, not really. I think those are kind of different. Get that, chat. We have so many lands this game, we sacrificed one to draw a card. It's good value right there. Just like casual gain 12 in our hand. No big. That's the Sky Noodle. Yeah, we played a game and we got to actually play Magic by casting our spells on time. And we were able to win quite handily. Weird. So Clarions, other sweepers come in. I think this is, again, just a matchup where we want to play to the board. I think I'm putting them on the not Phoenix build. We'll reassess, obviously, if they show us Phoenixes in game 2. We didn't see Phoenixes, right? Just prowess stuff. Reckless. Reckless, Rage, and Infuriate usually means not Phoenix. It's all because of the 36 land we didn't draw. Yeah, exactly. You started opening lightning bolts in your Strixhaven pack, so I guess that means you're done with everything else. Yeah, everything that's not mythic archives. Takes a while to get all of those. Who knew that 80-card deck could have inconsistencies? Well, I mean, our inconsistencies have largely been related to just, like, not having lands, so much to just, like, not having the right cards at the wrong time. So, like, your 80-card deck really isn't any more or less likely to mana screw than your 60-card deck, so long as your ratios are appropriate. I'm supposed to Helix this. Wow, just stone cold nothing, eh? What is in their hand? Is it just like a bunch of creatures playing around a sweeper? Or just on all lands? What do you feel about standard Mystic Archives being a driving way to reprint and standard sets? Seems fine, good nuts. It seems like it's been well received. People seem to like it limited too, so seems mostly win-win. It'd be right to make them discard there too and just Clarion. Holy crap, are we gonna die to not having a way to get rid of this Demonic Pact again? Yes! They conceded! God bless. Mini Rocket and Schwab, thanks for the follows. Welcome to the channel. Nailed it, chat. Nailed it. See, they didn't. They assumed we were of average luck and skill. Little did they know how incredibly unlucky we're. All right, Mardu Demonic Pact, you've earned yourself one more. Earned yourself one more. And then for the third deck today, we're going to be playing some Abzan tokens. Went 5-2 in the Hoaglandia Open this past weekend. Looked pretty sweet. Gonna be our third deck today. And if you weren't able to catch the Hoaglandia Open coverage all day on Saturday, be sure to check out the archives on my YouTube channel later today when I'm offline. Also had a Meta Monday report posted there this morning talking about the Open and the 5K that happened this past weekend. Taking a look at what was successful there and talking about maybe why that was the case. Sorry, did I say tokens? I meant 1/1 counters. I definitely said tokens. It's actually, it's a Winding Constrictor deck. I apologize. MPJ, thanks for the brand new Prime support. There's a ton of great people you can drop that off to every month here on Twitch. Thanks for supporting my content with it this month. We have historic anthology spoilers. That's exciting. I will pull these up on stream after I'm done with this set. This is gonna be the last match of the day. Don't spoil them in chat, please, if you can avoid it. With this deck, and then we'll look at those together. We'll give a little review. How do we feel about... I think we just use the Doom Foretold to get on the board here. I guess this is a way to interact with this, though. I'm just going to put the Demonic Pact down. Let's force them to interact with this and maybe take some cards out of their hand. Can Mind Rot them with this one to start. I technically have 3 ways to reset this here, so even if they have some counter spells, we could be okay.
There are so many mysteries. Keep an open mind.
This actually works out really well for us now, right? Because we Demonic Pact, make them discard 2. And then I get to Doom Foretold to get rid of this, and then next turn I get to draw 2 and then sacrifice this. This works out really well. Well, the order doesn't matter. For reference here. Chew on their hand a little bit more here. So Bell-Haunt will take a card, Doom Foretold will take a card, and then we're on the board here, which is nice. Something else notable here in this control matchup compared to the last one that we didn't have is I've got our Lorehold Command already. Destroy target tapped creature. That's cute. Oh, and Depose. I'm just playing a combo deck, chat. How do I feel about just like oathing proactively to have it in play for Yorion? I think I like it. Hey, Maury. It's been a hot second. Thanks for the 20 months. Welcome back. Did you find an untapped land, an untapped land, an untapped land? That is a little scary that this is probably a 2-mana counter. I do gotta try and think about how can I sequence this Demonic Pact getting off the table without this losing me the game. And part of the answer to that could definitely be just applying appropriate amounts of pressure. Oh, I actually don't have enough. I need to play this as a black Thoughtseize castle this turn too, huh? Ghoul only comes back on my turn. Beginning of your end step. I think I just run this into their counterspell here. Hey, Archangel, thanks for the biddies. I could sack my Ghoul for extra card draw, but they're also at 5, so like... Yeah, we could lose to our pack this game, chat. Okay, now we're good. Phone messed up my message, my bad. Here's something for you to have. Always excellent content. Have to go to work meetings and catch you on YouTube later. Sounds good. Catch you on YouTubes. Alright, made it out of the danger zone, chat. This could also be a Doomscar. They did bin a Doomscar earlier. Yeah, okay, so it wasn't a counterspell. Lorehold Command has been ghastly in this deck. I'm looking forward to playing with this card when Standard finally rotates. Seems like it's gonna be a real sweet one to play with. Lot of fantastic utility. Ooh, get to the Thopter! They're dead on board to this. It does have a cute little checkbox interface there. It's very nice. All right, so Deafening Clarion out, Helix out. Want my Planeswalker removal. I guess they're not really graveyard based. We cut the Clings. They weren't a Gearhulk deck. It didn't look like. Place Command, Clothis, Helix, Chandra. Yeah, I could see that. This card's been super impressive. Wonder if it's worth. Probably not good enough for red-white midrange. I don't know. It's tough. Like Glory Bringer's usually what goes in the 5 slot in red midrange in this format. You can only afford to play so many 5s. There was a player who played Naya tokens in the Hoaglandia Open this weekend. And this card looked really sweet in that deck. Has like more copies of heroic reinforcements, basically. That could be something worth exploring on stream at some point in the future. Charto Manel, thanks for the follow. Welcome to the channel. A lot of great things to try and figure out here. This hand has me at something of a crossroads, chat. Not drawing the Yorion here, except to discard the hand size. We're actually going to play the Abzan Counters deck after this one. It's going to be our last match with this. We're going to check out... what's it called? We're going to check out... we're going to check out the HA4 spoilers, HA5, Historic Anthology 5, and then we'll dive on into some Abzan counters. Yeah, it's playing Constrictor and the green-white one.
Let's slow this. You know what? I'm not done.
Snake, a snake. Oh, it's a snake. I think I'm doing this. I think there's a good chance they counterspell this. There's a high chance that this is Saw It Coming and not Doom Foretold, or not Doomscar post board. And then hopefully Doom Foretold's gonna get to come down next turn and tag Teferi. Counterspell, yeah. Probably dead here. This is one of those, well, they're not gonna kill us for like 8 turns, but we're kind of too buried by their Planeswalker at this point. Yeah, that one was a behold, but like, they're gonna get to look at 4 cards with that. They're gonna get to draw another card with Teferi next turn, plus their draw step. Plus, I don't have another hard answer to Teferi in my hand, so when your opponent like pluses their Teferi for like the 2nd time on an empty board, usually that means the game is over. I think I'm just playing this out proactively. There is some merit to holding it for like an Azcanta late, but my hand doesn't do a whole lot, and spending my mana cantrip early has value. We also have Sky Noodle later to move it over. Easy, Teferi. Just take their threats, you can play through the rest of it. Demet, thank you for the 15 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Happy 15th month of March. Slow and steady. Slow and steady. Opponent correctly choosing to use their counters in hand as opposed to counters over here if this is one. This could be a draw spell. But honestly, if we draw another blank next turn, probably just jamming the noodle here. It's a 4/5 that draws a card. Hits much harder than a noodle, you're not wrong. Hey, Pixieville, welcome back. Couple of 1/1s seems good for me. I guess with those plus a 3/3 shark here could team up to kill Yorion. You know, honestly, I'm gonna offer this trade so that way I can resolve Treacherous Blessing. Or just jumping, deal. Step aside, thanks for the follow, welcome to the channel. I think we play this out anyways. I think I want to just get my hand fairly empty here so that way I can start activating my castle. Getting through counterspells also has value for down the line. I think not spending my mana this turn means my opponent just gets to cycle and make a 3/3 shark, and that's not a good exchange for me. Whereas getting my hand empty so I can eventually leverage the castle better sounds appealing. Oh, they have a feat in play. Yeah, that's fair. Do you have a reason to play Oath first to try and bait out a counterspell? In situations like that, you're technically correct, but also just, like, irrelevant. Do you imagine if we drew a Doom Foretold here and just, like, just destroyed them with it? It's very, very sad. Just, like, lost the game on the spot to a Doom Foretold. Jeskai Control is the most popular deck in the 2 tournaments this weekend that it had the second highest win rate. And then after I say that, I want to remind you that there were idiots who wanted Swords to Plowshares and Counterspell to be legal in this format. Thank goodness they aren't the ones making the decisions, huh? I'm gonna take one more draw step here. I think we find a Doom Foretold, we can still get back in this game. Counterspell's coming to Modern. I saw that. I'm really glad that's a format that I don't care about anymore. Honestly, I'm glad they're putting Counterspell into Modern so that when people ask for it in formats like this, I can just tell them to go play something else. Go play your Path Counterspell format in Modern. Have fun there. I'm glad you enjoy those cards. I would like to not suffer them. So, build around submission for Demonic Pact or for Doom Foretold, and I don't know. It just felt kind of blah. It feels like even when, for starters, I do think we low rolled a pretty significant amount in that set. There were a lot of games where we just like had all lands like that last one, or we missed our 4th land drop on turn 4 and died. That being said, our deck also doesn't really have cheap interaction in it, or cheap selection in it, right? Like, there's no Abundant Harvest here, there's no Brainstorm, there's no Op, there's no Faithless Looting. Like, you're just at the mercy of, like, what your deck's able to put together, and we don't have a proactive game plan. Our game plan is pretty slow and fairly responsive, and that type of strategy tends to not be particularly good here. In this format in general. So overall, this one felt like a bit of a miss. I will say I walked away from those games being relatively impressed with Lorehold Command, though. I liked this a lot. Yeah, I agree, JMP. I think foretelling counterspells really blows. I hate that design a lot. It takes generally speaking, discard spells are one of the way that you provide counterplay to counterspells, and foretell just completely removes that access, which is really dry. And it takes, a deck like this that's already going to struggle against a control deck, and just like takes the matchup and makes it awful. So